Anime's given us endless heroes with crazy powers. Most of them are desperate to unlock something insane. Some want to save the world from total disaster. Some want revenge. Because anime loves childhood trauma. Some just want power. No deep speech needed. But at PK Academy, one pink-haired kid is different. Kazuo Saiki is just sitting there, completely unimpressed. He was born at the finish line everyone dreams about. This guy is basically a walking cheat code. He knows too much and can do almost anything. But honestly, his life goal is painfully simple. He just wants to live a normal life. That is the whole joke behind Saiki K. And somehow, that joke actually hits pretty hard. This is not your usual hype battle anime. Nobody is screaming power moves for 20 episodes straight. It is a comedy with a pretty dark question. What if superpowers made your life absolutely miserable? Destiny really messed with Kazuo Saiki from birth. His powers did not awaken after some tragic backstory. They grew with him, faster and scarier every year. Eventually, they became strong enough to destroy Earth. And no, that is not just anime exaggeration. He could wipe out Earth in 3 days. And the universe might get dragged into it too. So to stop reality from completely falling apart, Saiki has to wear limiters all the time. Those limiters were made by his brother, Kazuo Saiki. They keep his planet-destroying power locked inside him. For normal people, superpowers sound like a dream. For Saiki, they are a curse he never asked for. His telepathy forces him to hear thoughts non-stop. Every dumb thought, every complaint, every random panic, all of it gets shoved straight into his brain. So yeah, he is completely done with people. And honestly, can you even blame him? Then there is his X-ray vision, which sounds awesome. Until everyone looks like bones and guts. Teleportation is useful, but it is cooldown time. Future sight ruins every surprise before it happens. He can literally rewrite the rules of reality. But he mostly uses that power to stay normal. His normal school life is barely holding together. That ridiculous contrast is the show's biggest comedy engine. This dude has reality-breaking power locked inside him. And all he wants is to make toast in peace. That is the core madness of Saiki K. But under the jokes, something heavier is always there. Loneliness, responsibility, and identity never really leave him. Seiki's daily life is non-stop chaos. But his enemies are not evil world-ending villains. His real enemies are his own classmates. Loud, weird, impossible to shake, and somehow everywhere. Saiki tries desperately to hide how powerful he is. He even controls his test scores on purpose. Not too high, because that gets attention. Not too low, because that gets parents called. Perfectly average is basically his survival strategy. He uses psychic power to erase his presence. He even changes people's common sense when needed, all because he wants to be background noise. But of course, the universe never lets him relax. The harder he avoids trouble, the faster trouble finds him. And the biggest problem is his telepathy. He can never fully turn it off. So he hears people's private thoughts right away. That means he cannot ignore people in trouble. He says things like, "What a pain." He says things like, "Stop dragging me into this." But when it actually matters, he always helps. He complains like a professional hater, then saves everyone like it is muscle memory. That gap is what makes him so funny. And honestly, it makes him weirdly lovable too. Every time he escapes one annoying problem, he somehow lands inside an even bigger disaster. He can teleport anywhere in the world instantly. But he still rides the train to school. Why? Because looking normal is his whole survival plan. He can solve any crisis into seconds. But he has to fake normal human effort. Otherwise, people would know something is wrong. He keeps jumping from god powers to dumb errands. And that is where the show becomes hilarious. The jokes come fast, non-stop, and completely ruthless. Seiki's face almost never changes at all. But inside his head, the commentary never stops. He looks calm, but his brain is pure chaos. That contrast is exactly why the comedy works. If Saiki is the center of this whole mess, then his classmates are the chaos crashing into him. These deeply abnormal people drag him out of isolation. No matter how hard he tries to stay alone, they turn PK Academy into one giant disaster zone. First, we have Ricky Nendo. Green pompadour, split chin, and pure confusion energy. He is basically Seiki's natural enemy. And the reason is honestly insane. Nendo's brain is completely blank. So Seiki's telepathy does nothing to him. In Seiki's world, everyone sounds like a radio. But Nendo is just dead silence. That sounds peaceful. Right? Yeah? Number? Not even close. Nendo's brain works on another planet. And somehow, he ruins Seiki's plans every time. He drags Saiki to fortune tellers for no reason. He writes test answers directly on his face. He misunderstands Seiki's kindness as some secret message. Nendo exists just to break Seiki's perfect logic. Not with genius. Not even close. He does it with pure, unstoppable stupidity. And somehow, Saiki cannot fully ignore him. Next, we have Shun Kaido. Or as he calls himself, the Jet Black Wings. Yeah, he's absolutely that kind of guy. Kaido lives inside his own fantasy battle anime. He thinks he's fighting some dark organization. The funny part is, he has tiny psychic powers. They are so weak they barely even matter. But that only makes him believe harder. Kaido is basically a mirror for Saiki. He shows the awkward side of being special. Every time Kaido screams fake attack names, Saiki just stands there, silently questioning everything. But somehow, he still plays along. Their chemistry is awkward, stupid, and weirdly wholesome. Kaido's passion reminds Saiki of something almost forgotten. Being a teenager is loud, embarrassing, and messy. But sometimes, that is what makes life feel alive. Then we have Kokomi Teruhashi, the perfect girl, basically chosen by God himself. She's beautiful, smart, and ridiculously charismatic. Everyone falls apart the second she walks in. Her whole life is people going, "Oh wow." That is the reaction she expects from humanity. But then she runs into Saiki, a normal-looking psychic who refuses to worship her. And of course, that makes her fall hard. Teruhashi looks completely flawless on the outside. But inside, her thoughts are wildly dramatic. She works insanely hard to protect her perfect image, especially whenever Saiki is anywhere near her. And that effort turns into comedy every time. She slowly breaks through Seiki's walls. In a world obsessed with looks, Teruhashi proves being genuine can still hit different. Even a godlike psychic cannot fully block a pure, intense crush that just will not quit. And yeah, the chaos keeps getting worse. There is Raita Toritsuka, the ghost-obsessed disaster magnet. He chases supernatural stuff and attracts actual ghosts. There is Kaneshi Hiro, the motivational sports maniac. He means well, but usually makes everything worse. And then there is Mikoto Ora. She reads auras and predicts futures through fortune-telling. But even she cannot fully read Saiki. Every character has a loud, obvious label. But they are not just one-note anime weirdos. Under the comedy, they are still confused teenagers. They want friends, purpose, confidence, and connection. Around Saiki, they create ridiculous daily chaos. And somehow, between the jokes, they hit your feelings. That is why Saiki K became a classic. Not just because the jokes are non-stop. Behind the comedy, the show questions superpowers themselves. Most power fantasy stories tell you strength is awesome. This show asks something way colder. If you had godlike power, would you be happy? For Saiki, the answer is clearly no. Knowing everything kills the fun of mystery. Doing everything easily kills the pride of effort. When he can read minds whenever he wants. Trust between people starts feeling dangerously fragile. When he can casually rewrite reality. Nothing feels real anymore. Saiki is lonely because nobody is really like him. He stands above everyone and sees way too much. He watches people laugh, rage, cry, and panic over tiny problems that barely matter to him. That distance keeps him separated from everyone else. He's scared of being exposed because people would call him a monster. Or worse, They would use him like a tool. So he builds walls around himself. He hides behind the mask of being normal. But real friendship is the one thing that can actually break through those walls. Saiki says he hates dealing with people, but his actions betray him every single time. He secretly uses power so friends are not disappointed. He protects them instantly when danger shows up. He even takes huge risks alone, just to protect everyone's ordinary daily life. Inside these ridiculous stories, friendship becomes the real point. Nendo is an idiot. No debate there. But his trust in Saiki never shakes. Kaido is painfully delusional. No question. But he would fight fake demons for his friends. Teruhashi is obsessed with being perfect. But she starts caring about Saiki himself. These loud, flawed, impossible friends give Saiki something priceless. They remind him what being human feels like. Slowly, Saiki starts understanding what normal life means. It is not a life with zero problems. It is not silence, distance, or total control. It is eating coffee jelly with these idiots. It is arguing, laughing, panicking, and growing up together. It is spending youth with people who annoy you. And somehow, they still make life feel warmer. His powers stop being just a barrier. They become a shield for the life he values. A shield protecting his loud, chaotic, precious everyday world.